AskReddit by a wizard 78% of suicide rates worldwide are men. What can we do to help them? Don't expect men to be manly. We have worries, we have fears just like anyone else. Sometimes we don't want sex, we just want someone to hold us and tell us everything is going to be okay. The modern world shouldn't expect someone to be anything other than a contributing member of society, be it anyway. Men like power and feeling looked up to, but like women and children, we need someone to love us and someone we can fall back onto. When a man, or even a woman, is shutting people out and isolating themselves, they need your love the most. I know this will get buried, but I hope someone can take something from this. Both men and women expect men to be manly. However, it's really women who are truly influential in reinforcing manliness. Men don't give a shit what other men think. They feel the need to be that way because of how much importance women place on it. An uncle-in-law shot himself to death this week. The guy was screaming for help and threatening to do it for days. He was 48. What are the options? If I was dealing with heavy depression and just wanted to talk to someone, where do I go? I've sought independent counselors and they usually turn out to be nutcases themselves. Seems like this just adds to the overall feeling of hopelessness. In the US, people apparently call suicide hotlines like 211 pretty frequently just to talk. They'll always listen if you don't have anyone else, even if you're not having any sort of suicidal ideation. Treat their mental health seriously. When they are struggling with a problem, the only advice that is given to them to man up. Which, in my opinion, they have, and they just need actual help. Absolutely, getting help should be seen as a way to man up because it's the strong thing to do. Treat us like humans. I was sexually assaulted as a child and frequently tried to harm myself, but whenever I talked to someone about it they scoffed and said I was telling fibs. And X200B. Edit. Thank you for all the kind words. Please, if you're thinking of hurting yourself, please seek help, don't go it alone. That's why I struggle to open up, because I always think someone will tell me I'm doing it for attention. Don't shame us for asking for help or appearing weak. Was here for this. Stop calling men pussies for having feelings. Humans feel feelings and it's normal, and expressing them doesn't make them less of a person, no matter their chromosomes. Stop telling them to man up or grow a pair because men suffer too. This. When I got a knee injury which the 911 crew said I normally should be passed out from the pain, the only thing I was worried about was whether people would notice I had a tear coming out of my eye. Hugs, compliments and cuddles. Men does not get enough of these things. Yeah, this hits home. Pretty much to the point that when I actually do get these things, I become internally uncomfortable. Almost don't feel worthy of them unless I've literally saved a life or done something amazing. Not abandon your best friend of 10 years after he begged you for help. Fuck you, Sam. Fuck you, Sam, on this guy's behalf. Compliment them, even if it's something small. Wow, that's a nice shirt, it looks good on you. Your hair looks nice today. A girl complimented my nose 4 years ago. Weird, I know, but I still remember that compliment. 2 girls have complimented my teeth in the past 6 years. I remember their names. Compliments matter. Provide more opportunities to form communities and activities that cater to different men's needs. A lot of us don't have friends or intimate platonic relationships, and we're in desperate need of that. I'm a 34-year married man who is also a father, and I have no friends that I see or socialize with on the regular. I think this is a part of aging and of having a family that needs me. The same can also be said for my wife. She is the only person in her circle of friends who is a working mother and is married, so she pretty much never sees any of her friends. Sometimes things like family duties can just bury all your free time outside of work. We like hugs. And X200B. And X200B. Just hug PLS. I want a hug. Edit. Wow, that's a lot of hugs. Hugs everyone who saw this. I'll hug you. It's a dude hug, hands above the waist. Big fat guy, so it's like a duvet. Anyone else want one? I can't count how many times I've tried to approach friends about what I'm going through and gotten cold fucking receptions. I've been ghosted by friends on more than one occasion for doing little more than having feelings. Men are meant to act like nothing ever bothers them at all, and so we end up bottling it up till it comes out in the worst ways. For me, it's often alcohol. Probably do something about the male homeless problem. Last stat I saw was around 85% of the homeless population was male. In my town, there is exactly one homeless shelter that will admit men, even when it's below freezing outside. The rest have a very strict women and children only policy. They'll turn away entire families unless they are willing to split up and send the father back out into the cold. Kill us yourselves, that way the suicide rate is lower. I'm something of an activist myself. Allow men to express sorrow without shaming them and instead supply support. The real men don't cry idea kills. Probably ease all of the pressure our society puts on men. We don't talk about the emotional toll of social pressure on men nearly enough. Deleted. His name was Ari Bain. He was married to Princess Martha Louise, the daughter of King Harold. Ari and Martha divorced a few years ago. He was an author and artist. He lived in Nicolet because he thought that's where he actually belonged. He left 2 young daughters behind. One held an eulogy at the funeral that brought the whole country to tears, pleading people to reach out for help instead of ending it all. Hit the country like a ton of bricks during Christmas. Edit. Included a link for the English speaking here. https://en.m.wikipedia.org/wiki/Ari_Bain. Not turn them away when they tell us what they're struggling with. Oh my dog, this blew up. Anyway, I'm so sorry to everyone who posted here sharing their cases of being turned down. I hope you all find someone who is gonna listen and help you. It's always the same. Oh man, that sucks, but you wouldn't believe how hard it is for me. Edit. This is not just about women saying to men, but also men to men, thank you for all of your kindness. Destigmatize men talking about their feelings and thoughts. Not only that, but make men's resources a normal thing. When I was finishing high school and visiting colleges, I noticed that almost all had a women's resources center, but none, that I saw, had a men's resources center. I definitely think that colleges making their campuses a safe, healthy place for women is extremely important, but they should be doing it for men as well. I realize men don't have to deal with sexual assault and other issues nearly to the same extent as women, but there are many other factors that can contribute to a student's well-being. I think, especially in the formative years while young men and women are in college, they should be given resources to deal with whatever is causing them to feel anxious, depressed, alone, etc. Work towards fixing the fact that most men have some form of depression. As Thoreau said, the mass of men lead lives of quiet desperation. Stop assuming anyone concerned about men's issues is a misogynist. When we talk about men in general, 99% of the time it's negative. It's no wonder men are having a tough time. Actually listen to their problems and not yell at them and say you're a man, don't be such a wimp. Funding for mental health and understanding as a society. Easier said than done, especially in certain cultures. Let men show emotions without making fun of them or calling them babyish. Stop overworking and underpaying them and putting unreasonable expectations on them. Emotional support is useless if it does not fix the problem. Or the opposite of overworking, taking away jobs through one method or another, whether it's offshoring them, automating them, etc. And then expecting tens of thousands of men to learn to code. Nah. Suicide rates skyrocket when men are put out of work and when there are few to zero other options on the table. And I'll be included soon because I'm so fucking tired and nothing works. Meds don't work. Therapy doesn't work. I thought being a workaholic would work, but it doesn't. My friend who has been given everything in his life told me to be grateful. Fuck him. He's had every opportunity in his life given to him. Legacy student despite his 2.5 GPA. Given a 70k job in rehab because a fellow junkie took pity on him. Maybe men kill themselves because like me they realize the system is rigged and that most have no fucking chance. Hey dude, shoot me a message and we can talk. If you play games on PC we could play some games together or something too. Change the world's culture and perception of mental health. Us-centric response. So many responses are around supposed cultural insistence that men be tough or stoic. But over the last few decades there has been a huge cultural push to make it okay for men to be sensitive and share feelings. An American male is way more encouraged to express his feelings than he was in 2000, or 1990, or 1980. Has this correlated to a decrease in the male suicide rate? Is there an objective increase? Or is this all perception based on increased information availability? Real questions. Encouraged to share? Yes. Supported when he does? No. Obligatory. This will be USA centric. Opioids, war-related PTSD, states that never recovered from the recession, traditionally male industries being automated or replaced. Something that'll get even worse when self-driving trucks happen. Men are also allegedly more prone to attempt suicide in more violent ways, a gun vs some pills that you could throw up. The why isn't that baffling, but I'm worried it'll get worse as rural communities get left further and further behind. We can work to promote more blue-collar jobs, fight to make mental health care more accessible, and do more for people struggling with drugs, alcohol, and PTSD. But I'm not sure we will. Destigmatize men having actual emotions, and make getting help for mental illness the social norm.